Namaste and welcome to class, and thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention. And in today's class we're going to talk about concentration, magnetism, and relationships. You have many currents of energy in your body. You have electrical, you have plasma, you have gravity, you have magnetism. And all these different energies, different qualities of the energy are constantly interacting, constantly exchanging energy. That specifically when we zoom in into the field of magnetism, we found the etheric body. And the etheric body is more or less 10 inches from your physical body. It doesn't mean that it's just there as a line. It's also inside of the body, and it's also in a different degree in the field of the plasma and in the field of the electricity. So when we zoom in into the magnetic field, we find very specific qualities. At the physical level, the quality of magnetism is impacted in the immune system. It's the quality of repelling or having a buffer to things that are not wanted, like viruses and bacteria and things like that. The seals. At the level of the actual magnetic force is related to your relationships. It's how you attract the different objects and subjects in your creation. Therefore, it's very much in tune with your boundaries. How much boundaries you have, how much you let in, and how much you extend your inner boundaries and outer boundaries. At the level of the emotional body, the magnetic field have a very beautiful interaction, and it's where you are able to contain your emotions. Emotions that are not contained are dramatic, are excessive, are not contained into certain field that you're able to digest and process. They are just quieter. You're feeling it, but you're not exploding and putting anything in the outside. At the mental level, the magnetism is represented in your concentration. When you have a fixed point that have a stream that is constant and is fluid, right? And in that is what I want to talk to you today. Because with concentration, with the education of concentration in the mind, and yoga is called dharana, it impacts the plasmic and impact the magnetism, your relations, your immunity, and your hormones. Dharana is a gate. It's a very it's one of the things that many of us in the path of liberation fail, because it requires patience, steadiness, time, and application of certain restrictions. For example, the natural tendency of a non-educated mind is to go out, is to be in the external. Through the senses, the eyes want to see more, the ears want to hear more, the touch want to be touch more, the tongue want to talk more, eat more, smell more. So all those senses, with no education, the energy goes out, and it goes out in two ways. One is by like a filament. So you are dispersed, you pay attention to everything, and it's filaments that you want to know of what is extensions of what is your thought process, and you think that through that extension you are going to learn something, that you're gonna expand, that you're gonna just feel more that you are alive. And the second one is the monkey mind. It's when the mind, it becomes just like a jumper. Boom, boom. They have no association, one thing with another thing. You're just thinking in the laundry, and 2 minutes later you're thinking in the relationship, and then you're thinking in the holiday. There's no continuity in that concentration. So with this fragmentation, what it happens is that all your magnetic field decreases. You're not able to magnetize or attract what is the frequency that you desire. So have the picture. The image is that all this leaking of the energy through like filaments that goes everything, or is jumping, it creates two kind of thoughts. One kind of thought is the looping thoughts, where you are thinking the same thing over and over and over. It's a kind of a concentration, but it's not a healthy one. It doesn't take you anywhere. You're just roaming in the same kind of pursuing either an expectation or a judgment or an illness. You just find yourself boring yourself and boring others, because you're just talking about the same thing with no really any positive outcome or expansion. And the other one is that that you visit different thoughts process. Oh, it would be nice if I go to Bali and have something in there, or I go in Portugal, or I go in this and that, and you visit different thoughts thinking that you are gonna gain something. So one is looping and the other one is jumping. So concentration, when you start educating your mind, and one pointed, number one, through the education of the senses. You have certain deprivations in the beginning just to educate the senses not to go everywhere. So, for example, you reduce the amount of movies you watch, the amount of lust you have, the amount of exterior thirst for things related to the senses. So slowly you start educating the magnetic field to start within. In the moment that the senses go within, you get magnetic. It's when you take, number one, responsibility that, yeah, I am creating my reality the way it is, and I am okay with it. Number two, you don't deny any emotions, because emotions are like blocks. Denying emotions are like blocks in the flow of your one-pointed mind. So we need to clear some emotions, denial emotions, and we need to cut the excess of the senses. Now, how this relate to your relationships? If you have a scattered concentration, if you don't have concentration, or you have certain concentration in certain level, but you are concentrated in low frequency, and that's a distinction you need to make. Where is your concentration, and what is it that you're paying attention? And by paying attention, you become what you pay attention to. You become. If you pay attention to negativity, you become negativity. If you pay attention to flowers and positivity, you become like a flower and you're positive in state. So it's that. Where is your attention? Is it in low frequency or is it in a higher frequency? Higher frequency means you're connecting with the most powerful source of magnetism, and it's your higher self. It's the one that knows, the one that heals, the one that directs you. Lower frequency is the one that is irresponsible, doesn't want to take responsibility for what is in front of you. It denies, it procrastinates, it forgets. All that range of frequencies very much determine the type of quality of concentration you have and the type of magnetism in attracting the relationship and maintaining the relationship without wiggling in your mind, oh, is this right for me? Or I should not have done that, and so on and so forth. So no wiggling of the mind means power. No wiggling of the mind means delivering your life at the level that you're capable. No wiggling mind means immunity, strength, security. No wiggling mind means no explosions of emotions, not dramatizing yourself more, not taking advantage of the emotional body for you to feel that you are alive. Concentration means to have that steadiness, that detachment, that sharpness, that sequence of thoughts that are towards your higher self. This spring, March 12th exactly, we have a 5 weeks program that I call Mystic Concentration. And I want to put all the processes, the meditations, the breathing, and the awareness that you need in order to gather the energy towards the inwardly. That inwardly world is your heart. With your heart that is magnetic, you create a sphere in the chest that radiates the compassion, the equanimity, the patience, the joy, and is protected by the magnetic field. I invite you to reflect on this. If you resonate with this, please come and sit with me in this 5 weeks program. I promise you that the chatty mind, the destruction of the ego that it wants to put you down and diminish your power of magnetism, it will be restored. I thank you so much for taking notes and having a homework. Number 1, the homework is write down what is it that you're paying attention to, either consciously or subconsciously. If you subconsciously are manifesting poverty, illness, limitations, you are being very concentrated in diminishing habits and in diminishing way of thinking. So write down where is your concentration, where is your attention, and give yourself the opportunity to walk again in the path of wellness and enlightenment. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next class. Namaste.